evening, November Foxtrot. Hello, hello. We're obviously joined this week by Kenny.
Hello.
There.
How are you doing?
Hi,
I was
Kenny.
meant to get my haircut especially for this, but then run late. Had to cancel.
Looks lovely.
Had to pay for it.
Don't
Anyway.
get it cut. Let it grow.
Glorious.
Be natural. Just a lovely mane of hair.
How are you, bastards? How are you, Lance? How are you? Actually, last time I saw you, you were leaning up against your truck, feeling rather unwell.
I think it was the combination of a bottle of gin and then followed closely by red wine. Had something to do with that.
Yeah, and then I.
Other
John
than
was
that-
cooking as well, though.
And
I was
John's
trying to say
cooking.
bye. I was trying to say bye, and then I just bye, Lance, love you, and you were just standing there leaning up against the truck. Were you?
Leave me alone.
Yeah, were you sick or not?
No, I wasn't. I just needed to take a moment away from the heat of the fire and just be in a quiet place.
Just really emotional all of a
just
sudden.
need to gather my thoughts for a minute.
Fair play, mate. Yeah, you
Yeah,
were
it's all
pretty
good, all
smashed.
good.
I mean, you gave me a lot of massages there. You were around the
I did.
campfire in your pants. So this is what you
massaging.
get if you wanna go anywhere. In
For
the
those
woods with Lance, he will be.
For those
he
that
will be
don't
in his
know,
pants.
It was Lance's 40th birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to you, Lance.
It was indeed. Thank you very much.
Sorry,
No,
there was a fanfare meant to be coming in, but it's not loaded quick enough. So there you go.
Thank you.
Yay.
It's a 40-year-old fanfare now, so it's slightly ever so
It is.
slightly slower
A little
than,
bit
than
creaky.
yesterday. Cheers, mate. Thank
So
you.
we had a cheeky little surprise for Lance over in the woods at the weekend, which we will talk about a little bit later on. But obviously, we're talking tonight about night vision, thermal, and torches. Basically, fighting in the dark. Sort of what's a holistic approach that people can take to fighting in the dark within airsoft and milsim. We're joined by Kenny because he both owns a thermal scope, as well as having lots of experience of being in the dark. And we're also going to be talking about Empire Rising 2, which is the next installment of the Empire events, which is occurring next month, which is very exciting. And yes,
But it's
so we'll be
pissing
talking
with
about
rain, and I'm just hoping that disappears.
Yeah, it should be fine. All right,
that. So hello, Pegasus, Jungle's Airsoft blog, Harry Badger. He says, good evening, folders. James C. Ooh, will they be late or will they be on time? We were a little bit late. I apologise for that. High Rage, James C. Daz, Les, Silly Gilly, Adventures of Zulu, Single Track Sam. Hello. I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome, welcome. Fresh Meat, Marky Mark, Matthew McCarthy.
Single track
and
sound.
Defiant
I like
Events.
that sound of that.
Defiant Events say happy
Hello.
birthday, you old fuck. So there you go.
Yep. Cheers, mate.
So let's kick things off and let's roll into some news.
I take my gun and I go pew 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 pew.
News. So, main news, as has been for the last couple of weeks,
Main news?
Andy's still recovering, obviously. Main news,
Yes.
not menus.
Main
Andy's
news.
still recovering, so hopefully he will be back on his feet soon. He was hoping to join tonight, but I think he's decided to rest up a little bit more. Apparently, it hurts to laugh, which on
But
the show
don't worry,
everyone
guys.
knows is
We were slagging him off before this show began. So
Yeah, there's still regular
Don't
piss
you worry.
taking, so don't worry.
yeah,
He's getting his
he got
doses
his
of piss
fair
taking
share.
as well as
He might
medicine.
not have heard it, but we slagged him off.
The dose of his antibiotics and painkillers are equal in piss taking as well.
Yeah.
Just earlier today, we received a message from Warhound Tactical. They said they've got their first event happening on the 28th and 29th of October, and they've even included a 10% discount code for you and yours. So if you'd like to attend, they have set up a code for 10% off of NoFo 10, NoFo 10. So that's running the 28th and 29th at Gunman Battle Lakes, which is apparently circa 200 acres. They've got Viper Tactical in attendance with the mystery box for both days. They're also confirming a few others. Enola Gay are apparently attending as well with competitive prices. Food
doing this
vans from
event?
Friday. This is Warhound Tactical. So it's their first event. It's an Instagram account that we've been sort of friends with for a little while. I think the typical price is £97.50, but with the 10% discount code, you'd be getting in for £87.75.
And
So
Battle
if
Lakes
you're
is
interested-
on the site, so go for it.
Yeah, Battle Lakes is a banging site.
I love that place. I grew up airsoft there, so it's good.
If you're interested, go and chat them out. Their website is warhoundtactical.com/hub, or you can find them on Instagram, which is warhound_tactical. And they're in the chat. There you go, look. There you go, Warhound Tactical.
Hello, Warhound Tactical.
Hey.
Oh, I like the
There you go.
picture. Nice patch, I like that.
Oh, I
Very
can't
nice.
see. I have to keep clicking stuff in the comments. Oh, you
Sorry.
did it.
So there you go.
Cool.
I had a few purchases this week. I don't know if we got any more news. Has anyone got any more news they want to share first before we talk about purchases?
Not really. No.
Oh,
Although
I do
actually,
have
I've got a little bit of
pretty
news. I've got a
We've
really,
got no news,
I've got
and then you both have
a
news at
really
the same time.
obscure, funny thing. It's just something I noticed today on Facebook Marketplace whilst I was browsing. I saw on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm trying to remember the town it's located in, but someone was selling the upper rear door of a C-130 Hercules for £1,750. Why that person has that, I have no idea, but that's for sale. So if you're in the market for an upper rear door of a C-130 Hercules, hit me up, and I will send you a link to the Marketplace page for that particular item. Very odd.
That leads on nicely to my news. So where I live is a pretty cool place, and one of my neighbours has been here a very long time, and he knows all of the history of this place. And he came and asked me for a favour, and then we got on the conversation, and he's 2 weeks' time he's going to search for a downed World War II German fighter plane, because he knows all of the history around here, and he says he's pretty sure he knows where it is, and it's never been recorded. So he thinks he's going to go and find it. I thought I was interested to tell you.
I'll come in.
I thought you'd like that.
Yes, I'm coming for that.
I've got two Valens in the corner, so we'll come out and we can do some metal detecting at the same time if you like.
But that's he's taking metal detectors.
I found a bomb! Bang!
Yeah,
yeah.
Shit. Because apparently one of the pilots survived, and he ended up staying in the area we live. He obviously got put into a prisoner of war camp, but then afterwards he stayed here, and like his family is still here, you know. So it's quite interesting that.
That's cool.
But actually, I don't know why he doesn't just ask. He might be dead now, I assume. But otherwise, he's going to say, just ask him where it is. Where is it, mate? So hopefully that would be cool.
I can't remember.
Yeah, can't remember.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. That's cool. I'm well down for that.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Hi Terry. Hi. There's a couple others. Gareth. I don't think I've seen Gareth before. So hello.
Bonfield, yes, we do.
Gareth, if this is your first time, just leave now. It's shit. You're going to waste your life. Just go.
Yeah.
Save yourself.
That's why we got Kenny on, because it's a filling episode.
Yeah.
Single track Sam says first time.
Such a filler. They've lost all of the good guests, and now they think, who shall we get? This is it.
Start calling it a poly filler.
Polly's on tonight.
Single track
Ollie.
Sam says first time viewing, loving the channel. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Ed says Kenny is on tonight because he has a thermal. How to get on Foxtrot by night vision.
Oh, Ed, don't be like that.
He is a bitch, isn't he? He is a bitch, that Eddie. What? Go on.
I was just going to say, Harry also said, Gunman Tuddenham, apparently they buried all the vehicles somewhere on the old airbase, never been found.
Well, really?
Exciting.
So
I know, was it Bramley site? They've got a stockpile of mustard gas. It's always worth having a look around for, I suppose.
I will.
Evening, Will.
Oh, and I did, and I was rooting around in this shed when I moved here. There was loads of stuff left, and I found an emergency flare, and it shoots like 3 miles in the freaking sky or something stupid. But I think it's probably dead because it's about.
We should try and set that off. If not, we'll throw it in a bonfire.
But then I thought we're pretty close to Gatwick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's an emergency one, so the planes will stay away, wouldn't they? Surely they wouldn't gravitate towards it, would they?
All right, well, let's pull it.
They're not like moths.
Oh, flare!
You'd probably end up with Popo coming around there, to be fair.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
James C says, Ed could always bring his thermal gloves on the podcast.
That's a good shout. Yeah, you can't go out using a thermal scope at night without having your thermal gloves on.
Yeah. Purchases wise, I've got a few things I just wanted to talk about this week. So the first one is I have for years run the Highlander racing spoon, whatever you want to call it, Rat Pack spoon. It's a good spoon. It's pretty light. The thing I've found with it is it's actually got, and this is going to sound really, really stupid, it's got really sharp edges around the mouthpiece, and I've had to sort of gently file those down a little bit, but it's quite hard.
How gently were you when you did it?
Very gentle.
Gentle.
But it's got quite sharp edges, and I've decided to, because basically I just gave up with filing it down. So I bought a new one. So this is an equivalent spoon from Optimus. This is titanium. I haven't reviewed it yet, but it's a much nicer, smoother finish. So if you are looking to buy a racing spoon, I would suggest that you check for mouthfeel. Don't try it in the shop, but just be aware of sharp edges.
You have really run out of content, isn't he? He sat there today going, "What can I talk about?" Yeah, you need to look at your mouthfeel.
He's sitting there like that, eating a yogurt today, going, "What can I talk about? Oh, bastard! Oh, we'll talk about that."
Yeah.
My sharp spoon.
The next thing I want to talk about, I recently purchased this. This is the Odin. This is the Odin Tactical.
This is my collection of spoons throughout the ages.
No, so this is an Odin Tactical MTP A4 Nyrex notepad cover. I've also bought the Nyrex for the inside as well. This is for admin tasks and bits and pieces like that. So when we do various events, usually there's a briefing pack. It's quite helpful to have those in game, depending on the event. Legion was always a particularly good one for having a big event. So it's good job I bought it now, because Legion obviously aren't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
But the
Maybe
Odin
you can have
Tactical,
historic documents in there.
yeah, exactly. The Odin Tactical sleeve cover comes with some pen inserts and stuff like that, which you could just about see. So there's some pen slots there. So just a little bit of stuff for admin, team admin, stuff like that.
Mike, it's surprising we're friends, because that is something you've bought. You've consciously gone and bought that. That is the last thing I would ever spend my money on. Ever.
Yeah, but that's because I'm the one that has to carry all the admin documents, isn't it, Kenny?
Yes, because and supply spare ones to you, because you'd forget them, wouldn't you, Kenny?
Yeah,
What are we doing?
Last thing I want to talk about, I've kind of got into cordage recently.
Oh wow!
No, this is interesting. I thought it was
What
interesting.
a thread this is.
Real thread. So I've been playing around with various different types of thread. I know we've talked about the comms cord reels in the
I didn't know
past.
what you're talking about, and then when he pulled the thread out, I'm like,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the actual cordage.
This got worse.
So this is the comms cord reel from Dragon. Oh, shut up! Let me finish. This is the comms cord reel from Dragon Supplies. It's effectively a fishing reel, quite a decent fishing reel. It's got a tension, everything like that. We talked about it on the show. But I've been looking at upgrading my cordage that I use on my bashers and when I'm out camping and the like. And I've been playing around with can't remember the name of the company now. Basically, it's UHMWPE line. So I've got 3 sizes of it here. I've been playing around with. The smallest I've got is 0.8 mil. So it's quite a tiny little thread, but apparently that has a breaking strain of 100 kilos.
Wow.
Pretty impressive. Going up to the 1.6 mil cord, that's got a breaking strain of 340 kilos. And then the 3 mil cord, which I was thinking more for using as a kind of main line between the trees in conjunction with the Night Eyes sort of retention camps, the little cams.
Oh, yeah.
Talked about those on the show before. That's got a breaking strain of 997 kilos, 998 kilos.
Fucking hell, is it really?
Thanks, George. Yes, apparently it does. So I'm going to be doing some testing with it. But basically, it's designed to
Well, like tightrope
be UV
walking or
resistant.
something.
Well, pretty much. It's designed to be. I mean, that would break before this cord would. Apparently, that's rated to the little Night Eyes thing is rated to 127 kilos.
Oh yeah.
So, but I'm going to be playing around in terms of sort of doing a few little tests and bits and pieces with this. It's UV resistant and everything like that. There is an equivalent you can buy for Kevlar cord. So Kevlar is abrasion resistant. So this isn't abrasion resistant. Kevlar cord you could technically use to cut down small boughs of wood. If you wanted to, you can just sort of use it as a like a cable saw. This you can't do that with, but for all intents and purposes, this is the equivalent of a Kevlar cord and is a bit cheaper. I think it's called Emma Kites on Amazon. They do a few different colours, but if anyone's interested, I'm more than happy to share some links. But yeah, that's what I'm going to play around with, because I figured that this is really lightweight cord. You know, if it's got that superior breaking strain, it's the sort of thing that some of the comms cord that I've been using, I've used it a couple of times for a few different things now. I've actually had it break a couple of times. So I'm hoping that the equivalent diameter of this MWPE cord would be a little bit
could
better.
use it like trip wires and stuff like Beasley alarms and stuff.
Yeah, so
stuff.
tripwires as well as even just having it as jungle knots on my basher. This stuff, the little cord's apparently 15 times stronger than steel, it reckons. It's resistant to UV chemicals, creep, lightweight, and it floats. So
Result.
I'm going to be giving that a go and doing a few little tests on that. So I know you can buy. Rage is saying.
That was fucking.
Sorry,
rude.
Rage is saying if only they made paracord and you can buy it. I know you can buy paracord.
Exactly,
This is
that'd
that
be
little
handy.
bit lighter and a little bit smaller. So that's my plan basically.
Nicely done.
And yes,
like it.
I had to go and get it out of the red bag to show you. So it is going in the red bag.
Once you brushed away all the maggots, you found it.
Yes, thank you. Any purchases from you two? Now that you've slated mine, my mouthfeel on my spirit. I'll let you have that one. To be fair, that was a bit.
I don't
silly.
even know if I don't know if I bought anything. But
I thought the mouth spoon was the high point, if I'm honest. I've got a few bits and bobs. Kenny, have you got any bits and bobs you want to talk about?
No, I haven't really bought anything at all.
Any new
I've just
packing
been buying
tape for your packing up your kit? For
I've just been buying stock. I haven't bought any really exciting string or anything like that. Any rope. Nothing. I'm sorry.
It's tactical string. I'll have you know.
Yeah.
It's very tactical.
No, actually,
very tactical.
I have something that beats it. I bought 5 reams of A4 paper for orders. Yeah,
Nice.
that was my last purchase. It's over there. Do you want me to show you it and show the difference between that one and the previous paper?
Is it strong as steel?
It's stronger.
Paper
It's
you've
definitely
got?
stronger.
Stronger than steel paper. Brilliant.
It says it's
Okay,
15
good.
times stronger than diamonds.
Is it abrasion protected resistant?
Yeah. And
Abrasion proof.
And
Abrasion proof paper.
creep protective. Apparently, it's
Yeah.
protected by creeps, so it's fine. Can I say, on my computer, one of my mates he's obviously watching the live because we put a thing out on Empire Rally and he messaged me going, "You look really fucking interested in this chat."
Let me talk about string.
Spring tonight. Fair play. Nice.
I'm joking. Yeah, well done, Mike. Awesome.
He's got the
Thank
upper
you.
now.
No, has he? Come on, Mike, don't. No, it's interesting if you're into that sort of thing.
Like restraints and
I'd love it.
restraints
I'd love it
and
if I go on Mike's profile, Facebook profile, you know, you can look at people's likes and interests. Mike's like a member of 15 different knot tying and string organisations.
string appreciation groups.
Yeah.
Right, well, I got a couple of admin pouches from Survival Aids this week because they had a sale on. A little email flashed up, and I was like, "Oh, hello!" So I got these like £4. So I'm going to upgrade some of my kit pouches in my Bergen. So I've got 2 large and I've got 2 small, like £20 for 4 pouches. So I thought, happy days, have some of that. What else did I get? Oh, my new Para Bergen arrived. I don't know if I've showed that off already, but that's my 80s SF loadout with my go in conjunction with my 58 pattern webbing. That arrived. I've got some lovely, lovely birthday presents, which I'm very, very chuffed with. I got that one from my family, my new G-Shock. Because it's the only watch that I can't break, because I'm a fool who breaks things, and I'm just a clumsy oaf, and these are the only watches that seem to survive with me. So I've got another nice new one of them to go with my collection. So yeah, loving that. And my dear friends all clubbed together and brought me a JJ's Beast Bergen, which I just, yeah. Light's gone. A huge surprise. Yeah, I was absolutely blown away. So I was given that at my surprise barbecue / beer evening at the weekend.
He cried.
I did get quite teared up actually, because that's yeah, wow. That's all I could say to that. It was literally just wow. So yeah, I was very, very grateful and very, very yeah. It was incredible. I'm still lost for words now. I talk about. I was like, oh, fuck me, I've got a Beast Bergen by JJ's of Brecon. So yeah, I've got some really cool bits and bobs.
You can tell Mike had such a big part to play in that. Look how happy he is with himself.
Oh mate, yeah,
genuinely.
Yeah. I just can't believe the sneaky gits kept it from me for so long. And the fact that they let me pack for a weekend, like a 36-hour recce op.
I felt so bad.
And I was there. I had all my stuff out. I thought, Christ, it's been quite a while since. I think the last sort of recce op we did was Machiavellian, the first one up at Tuddenham. So I was like sorting through all my kit, and weather's going to be okay, so I need to take all that crap this time. I can leave that out. Blah, 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 blah. I got there on the ground like Saturday morning. It was just like about an hour and a half into it, something like 2 hours. There was like a big crescendo, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's my wife and kids." I was like, "Oh, here we go. I know what's coming now."
That's not strictly what happened, though, was it? So we organised an event for Lance on the basis that we needed to somehow get him out onto a site with a gun and the ability to camp out overnight, because the plan was to kind of have a barbecue as well as camping overnight and having a bit of like an airsoft blap. So I set up an event called Operation Blue Ball, which was based on Operation Red Wing, which was the operation from Lone Survivor.
Very well done. I'd like to add. And good intel.
The combination of Blue Ball being both how Lance would feel when he do realise that he queued up for a meal sim and that didn't actually do, as well as the tie-in with Red Wing. So we ran the event and got it all sort of set up. I wrote quite a probably extrapolated storyline that we actually needed. I had a whole briefing document. I kind of got everybody out on site with it. There was 4 of us in a little team. We tabbed out into the field, set up a little kind of LUP, ditched the Bergens and things, and then started moving into position. Had Lance basically Overwatch on nothing for about 2 hours, which was pretty funny. I just sat there playing games on my phone and every once in a while pretending to be on the radio. Because I knew there was nobody coming. And then we slowly moved into position to overwatch the birthday party that had been set up for him. He's got his binos out and he's sort of looking out onto the party, and he turns to me and he says, Mike, there's a balloon. I was like, oh, okay. Is there? That's weird. He went, yeah, it's clear. Have they hung a condom from a tree, Mike? I was like, no, I don't know, Lance. Let's go and get a bit more eyes on. And I'd set it up that we had to be there for a certain time. And there was an intel drop at sort of 11:15, and then the guys who were at the party chucked down some mil-spec smokes. So smoke started billowing out, and I was like, "Oh, is that the intel drop?" I said, "Oh yeah, I think so. We need to get more eyes on." So we started to push forward. Lance is down behind the tree, keeping eyes on. We at this point knew, the rest of the 3 of us knew that we're close to the party, so we were like just resting on our laurels, just enjoying Lance really tensing up and not really knowing what's going on. And then Lance's wife and kids came out from the bush, but Lance couldn't yet see them, so he's still guns up, and we're like, Lance, there's kids on site, you need to, I think they're friendlies, just put guns down. And he's like, no, not sure.
Because I had eyes on Terry. I had eyes on someone looking at me like baseball cap and glass on. I was like,
and then literally I was like, right, Lance, just put your gun down, mate. Lance, happy birthday, put your gun down. And then he realised that we were all there, and he got absolutely covered in silly string, which is a hilarious photo, which I'll bring up in a little bit. Which was the silly string.
Then he got absolutely wankered.
Yeah.
And then he got absolutely hammered. Yeah.
And it was bloody good, and it was really bloody good, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Very thankful for all of you. Yes, very much enjoyed it.
It was an absolutely cracking time.
It was. But that's my purchases anyhow for this week.
Yeah.
Although I did get a chainsaw off of Facebook Marketplace today to go help with Kenny more.
What did you get?
Well, it's 30 quid. It needs a service. It runs fine. Just needs a service. 30 quid.
Bargain.
Yes, please. I looked them up online. They're about 189 brand new. So I thought, yep, happy days. Thank you. Go with my C130 door, which I bought for the garage. Oh, could you imagine that for a garage door? A C1. Oh, yeah, we should do that.
Is it the whole back Kenny. Door, or is it like a?
It's like, so obviously the C130, the back of the C130 is angled like that. So you've got the ramp which comes up, but then you've got a top bit which goes out. So it's the top bit that's for sale.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm not buying it. I'm fucking joking.
That's even weirder. I thought you meant it was like the door, like the little side.
No, it's just the door panel of the actual main door, which closes on the back of a C130, is for sale. 1,750 quid. It's like Hetfield or something. Hetfield. I don't know.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, if you're out there and you buy that door, let us know why, because I'd be very interested to know.
Because it's my C130. Duh.
Yeah. It's just one of those magazines where you get a bit every month, like 200,000 issues where you get like each bolt every episode.
Fair play.
So there you go. That's the I think that's the end of the news.
It's the end of the news.
Wrong one.
Okay.
Oh my, honestly.
Oh, it's not working well tonight.
That string's got him in the tears.
It has. Got him all excited.
He can't wait to tie himself up in it later.
I found an F-35 if anyone wants one. You found what on Facebook Marketplace, an F-35?
Yeah, that's the one that went missing, Lance, in the news.
Oh, fuck's sake. Oh.
Right, so we're going to talk about fighting at night. this evening. So, what do we want to start off with? Should we talk about thermal first? Because I know, Kenny, have you got your little fancy?
Oh, it's on a gun
Thermal's
in my
coming.
gun cabinet because I've got it on my
Okay.
2.2 at the moment because I use it for shooting rabbits. But it
He uses
Yeah,
it as a force multiplier against rabbits.
yeah, I mean, there's a massive discussion, isn't there, with like thermal and its place in airsoft, and I'm seeing more and more now. Like a couple of friends have just bought the new Pulsar, which has got like day and thermal in one. So you bring up you can have a small screen thermal or on day, and then the main screen thermal or day. So you can literally just run with it, see anyone hiding in a bush. Is there a place for it? I mean, it's like if you've got the money, why not? But that's like 5.5K. These guys are dropping on that, you know. But as I said, yeah, if you've got the cash, why not? But yeah, it's I think it's definitely. I think the rise of night vision and thermal really ruined milsims for me when I didn't have one because I was sniping, always sniped, and it came to night time and it's like, oh well, this is useless, you know, because I felt like I was just in the dark and everyone could see me. So, and it was true. I used to get shot to shit. So in the end, it became like milsims were just shit in the evening. And then I thought, you can't beat them, join them, bought a thermal. Now milsims are the best in the world, and I love watching idiotic me's walking around going, and then I just hammer them. So what I say is, sell everything you own, don't feed the kids, go and buy a thermal, and your life will be better when you hit milsim.
Fair
I
one.
think it's difficult, isn't it, with thermal? Because ultimately, you're right in that it is so beneficial to being able to. I mean, because obviously night vision has the constraint of, you can still camouflage against night vision. It's allowing you to see better at night, but ultimately the thermal actually helps you. It's very hard to hide a thermal signature. It's not something you can't do, but it's very hard to do it. So,
but also you can navigate with the night vision. So they both have their pros and cons. You know, the nods you can navigate, the thermal you really can't. It's interesting because there's like I can't remember who's bringing it out, but I saw it at IWA. But they're bringing out that new thermal red dot.
It's hollow sun.
Yeah, but it's not majorly expensive. It's like 1,800 quid, and I mean that you will be able to navigate with. Because I think you'll be able to see pretty much everything in front of you. But holding a gun up for that long is pretty painful.
Yeah, I know all too well.
Yeah, but I think it's I don't know. I'd love to know what the thoughts of people who go and play and haven't got any night vision and thermal and play even night time at a milsim. I wonder what they think. You know. Because
I've done it for a long time. I went back to it recently. The last couple of ops we've done with the SEO boys and that, I've actively chosen not to run thermal or I haven't got nods, but I've actively chosen not to run my thermal. Because what I found was with me personally, I don't know if it's the same for other people, is that I found I got when I could see quite clearly at night and navigate quite easily at night, I got quite complacent as to the noise I was making and stuff. Because I could see where I was going and I knew I was aware of what was around me. I was just sort of like not stomping about, but I was walking like it was daytime. Like I was just sort of like because I could clearly navigate around it. I wasn't taking like tentative steps. I wasn't like, thinking, oh yeah, I can't really graze past that branch. It's going to make that bush wobble. Whereas, you know what I mean? Whereas without that on, and you sit there for sort of like 15, 20 minutes, just pitch dark, let your eyes adjust. Granted, under a canopy, it is still very dark in there, but you can see some of the wood through the trees, if you know what I mean, with the naked eye. You know, as long as you give it that time to adjust. And I found that I was a lot quieter in the way I moved around at night time, not having any of those night aids to help me out. So I think there's a balance of weighing up. I mean, having consistently rely on it. I mean, maybe like a monocle that you can sort of look and then ditch it, look and then ditch it, sort of thing. Maybe something like that could be quite good for me, for the way I like to play, like milsim and stuff like that. I don't know if I'd like to constantly be in amongst it. Like as soon as I left to go on a 2 or 3 hour up, just having that on for sort of 3 hours. I think I'd.
See, I'm different. Fuck that. If I could, I'd have two straps, just two scopes, strapped there, like battery packs, just galore, like this, and I'm good. I don't like being surprised. I don't know why people watch scary movies. You know, like it's a horrible thing, isn't it? Someone scaring you. I want to see what's going on.
Yeah, but if you're quiet, you're going to hear them a lot more than, because at the end of the day you can see, but it doesn't. It won't make you quieter.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like to. I'm just.
If you're stomping as well,
And also,
you're not going to get the upper hand on someone else who's also looking out for you. If you're moving quietly, and you go to ground and you wait, you do sort of like a 50, 60 meter move, and then you go to ground for a few minutes and just do a little listening stop. Then you get right comfortable. Now I can carry on. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, thermal is also. I'm just gonna bring this up because otherwise James is gonna shit himself. He says I'm gonna have a shit fit in a minute. Thermal is not for night fighting. It's a tool that works no matter the lighting conditions. Yes, we know we're obviously talking about fighting at night, specifically on this one. But the thing that I've found before when I don't own any night vision or thermal, but I've had the benefit of using them at events. It's very limited as to where you're obviously looking. So if you're on a stag duty with we've had it where we've got sort of one person just patrolling around a little camp or something like that. It's only useful for where you're looking. You know, it's not going to give you that 360 degree awareness that you would have in the day normally, and that you can just sort of spin round or quickly. You're still having to rely on your exactly. You still have to rely on your hearing and everything like that. What it's useful for ultimately is if you do hear a noise, you can obviously pinpoint where you want to then start looking. It's the same as like a telescope or something like that. You know, you can't look at the whole night sky at any one time. You're only focusing on one little tiny bit at a time. So you have to scan round. And that's when it's scary, is when you pan round and all of a sudden there's this great white thing in front of you. It turns out it's a deer or something like that. Yeah. So, yeah. It's very subjective as to where you look. But it is just such a massive force multiplier. Because you can't I mean, Ed has found this, and I know he's found this because I think we talked about it previously. But snipers and things like that, a lot of the snipers aren't able to camouflage themselves against thermal. You know, they're not all running the thermal camo. Their ghillie suits and their hides and all of that, it's allowing them to hide very, very well for normal vision, night vision, or anything like that. But the thermal, your heat signature is a lot harder to mask.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've only used mine a few times.
I mean, thermal is the one. I mean, if you go up against thermal, then you are going to struggle to keep out of their sights. Basically, do you know what I mean? You are going to struggle.
Yeah,
I mean, as soon as you start getting contacted by thermal, and if you moved at night,
so far away.
Yeah, I mean, if you moved at night and went to ground, and it took them a while to get eyes on you again, then there's a good chance, obviously, you'll be up against nods. But if they're literally just tracking you, and then dropping more rounds onto your position, then you'll know you're up against thermal, and then it's literally just like either back off to get out of their range and sort of maybe come back in at a later date, or you just sort of try and stand your ground and just hope to God that you clip them before they clip you, sort of thing. When it comes to thermal,
I just think over the next few years there's going to be so many more players out there with thermal and nods. I mean,
but it's becoming
it's becoming
not cheaper. It's becoming more available, and you know there are cheaper options out there that are starting.
Yeah, but I mean, even the
quality.
cheaper options are still going to be good enough. Do you know what I mean? To pick up a heat source and actually be able to engage someone, and they are. Yeah, I've seen them. I mean, I dropped a scope in the chat the other day, and it was like on sale for like 300 quid. You know, thermal scope. Like,
yep.
People pay more than that for a fucking Vortex. So
I don't think it would be surprising if you find events start saying, you know, we're going to run events that are no thermal, no MVG.
And that's cool, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then everyone's relying on, you know, lights and everything else. Amazing, but then, there's
not to say you can't have it without it.
Yeah, you have to. No,
obviously, like it was when
play an event without it. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but then
it was a few years ago now.
Playing field, you know.
We done when we done that Vietnam event at Apocalypse, and that was really refreshing because it was iron sights only. Apart from snipers, they could have a scoped rifle, so it was iron sights. We could use white light, but it was no torch mount. It was no weapons mounted lights. There was no night vision. There was no thermal. So it was the same across both boards, you know. And it was wicked. It was so good to do that.
Bring it back to basics.
Genuinely, really good. You know, you were using floods at night, almost as if you was putting up sort of flares, so you could illuminate with like a big floodlight. And then you was all putting rounds down and stuff like that, and that was quality.
Yeah,
you had to sort of traverse with the light
before the huge rise of thermal and nods, I remember playing a Milsim. I think my first one. I loved it. I was just stalking around, you know, and like not using any light at all, but just stalking around and trying to knife kill people and stuff. You know, that was awesome. And then a few boys rocked up and with thermal and night vision, it was like just hammered, you know, demoralised. So,
It'll happen. It can happen. It can happen. But then, you know, like nods can be countered with a good white light drills. You know, which we showed with the SEO guys when we did the private event up at the site, Ken. We had an event there which ran 24 hours, and you know our white light discipline was spot on. We weren't just like sort of walking around with white lights on, constantly strafing. It was, you know, like a night patrol. You go into ground, you literally possible target sort of thing. You would do a quick flash, and then it'd be light off. And it wouldn't necessarily be everyone, it'd just be one flash like that. And if you did get target, then obviously in turn the rest of your unit or the rest of your team would lay fire down in the same direction. And it was really, even like Terry said, he goes, I've never seen sort of white light discipline with your team the way you did it. It was spot on, so we couldn't get around it, even with nods and this, that and the other. Do you know what I mean? It was, you were literally on us and then moving and then getting into an extended line to push through a wood block, and we literally had nowhere to go. So yeah, it can be done. It can be done. And like I said, that's why I found myself sort of moving away from it, because I was getting complacent with it at night time. Just cutting about.
I'm just shit. So I'm like, yeah, just give me anything, you know. It's like I want to cheat. I want to win, you know. I'm going to go out of bounds. I'm going to do all the bad.
Use a real gun and
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I think we've obviously kind of covered the usage of thermal in terms of countering thermal. Let's just sort of talk about that. So, you know, if say you're up against a couple other teams that might have thermal, there's things like mylar blankets and stuff like that. You know, ultimately you're providing a barrier between yourself. I mean, don't obviously run around with a mylar blanket in front of you. You look like a right old moron. But if you're setting up a fob or camp like that, I mean, we've got a few chats that we're in where we've kind of discussed the sort of sandwiching of a mylar blanket with a basher and then some like scrim or camo net or something like that on top of that. So, you know, you've got your visual covered off in terms of your basher and your camouflage netting. You've got the waterproofing with the basher, and then the mylar just kind of helps keep that thermal signature separated. So that's a way
I don't know why people don't just run around with a piece of glass, just a window.
That's literally about to say that. Yeah, just stand behind glass.
Get an old window, and you can see through it. And then just have like a sucker on the other side. So you don't put your hands around because people see you like fingers.
Oh, there's a load of fingers.
Yeah, and just run around with a glass, and then no one can hit you anyway, because even if they did see you, they'd just hit the glass, wouldn't it?
Just God mode.
I'm going to start. I'm going to put on the shop. Yeah, I'm going to start selling panes of glass. It's going to be
just reclaimed greenhouses up for sale on Empire.
I mean, yeah, pretty much everyone's going to be a return because the courier's broken it, but. I'm going to try. Maybe
no, it's one you say. It's a self-assembly one. You assemble it yourself, and it gets to
you. Yeah, just give them some glue.
I mean, perspex works as well, doesn't it? With any sort of physical barrier.
That's why it's difficult. Obviously, with protecting thermal as well. Like you can't really put perspex in front of it. You can't put glass in front of it. What you can do, which is what I did with mine, was I used an old metal sieve strainer, the actual very thin, wiry one. And I had one which was sort of starting to go away from the edge of the circular disc bit that holds it in place. So I literally just bastardised that into a cone, sort of like a muzzle shape, which went over the end of the my thermal, and I could still see through it clearly.
When you said that, I just pictured Lance's Mrs. Louise just looking around, going, "Where's the?"
I did buy a new one, and then I used the old one.
Or the sieve just got like a little hole cut in the bottom of it.
That's it, yeah.
Why is the sieve incomplete?
Why is there a 75mm hole cut out of this sieve? It was big rice. Yeah, I was straining a marrow.
And Andy's come up with an idea of running around with massive space heaters to mess up the thermal.
Horse-drawn space heaters.
There's a couple comments which we'll just kind of cover through. James C says, problem with thermal camo is that whatever you put on will eventually heat up. I've seen some interesting stuff with layered mesh and netting. And he says, once played a game where it was with white light versus NVG. The white light guys just kept putting the lights on. At that point, the whole NVG usage was completely pointless. Ed said, for example, that time I shot Lance at Imperium, he felt like a Zeus.
Oh,
That's
I remember.
what
Yes. When he
Yeah,
cuts
he
into
said
the
he played a
fob.
Milsim for a long time without envy, and then when you get a kill on someone with envy, you feel like a god.
I didn't have envy, Ed. You lunatic. What are you on about?
Jamu
I
says you
remember
can
that. That
hide
was
your
actually
thermal.
he actually done very well there. I do remember that very well.
Jamu says you can hide your thermal signature to an extent.
Sub-level, mate. Trenches moving around.
Defiant says you cannot navigate under thermal. It doesn't provide sufficient definition. So I've seen some quite decent thermals. Like
Kenny, you can navigate with your thermal.
I'm
Like you
pretty
can make
Yeah,
out the
just
land terrain. I can
just,
navigate with my thermal through woodland and stuff.
yeah, just about. But the problem is I don't know much about. I don't know why you got me on talking about fucking thermals, but I mean, like, is it the Ed would know? Is it the objective? It is my one is quite close, luckily, but most of them are so far away that you can't really navigate because what you're trying to navigate, what you're seeing, is so far in the distance. Your brain can't compute that I'm going to be there. My one, you can just about. If I look down, I can make it out and kind of navigate. But the problem is as well when you're constantly your shoulders are killing because you're holding the gun up, and your eye is getting. You end up blinding yourself. The second you take that
Yeah,
that
all
thermal
your
away,
natural night vision disappears instantly.
you cannot see anything. Then and I've got myself into a bit of a mess a few times. Like I'm like fucking hell because I just seen white just. Yeah, so there's benefits and there's pros and cons. Yeah, but yeah, as a whole, I would say unless you've got like an ultra expensive thermal, you can't navigate with it. In my opinion, I don't think so. I've tripped over everything. It's a fucking nightmare. So yeah.
Jamu says hybrid is the way, absolute game changer for me. Thermal on one eye and envy on the other. It's not for everyone though.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking that. I was like, that would be cool.
That's what I did when I had my NV monocular. I had my right eye was thermal on the scope, and then the left was just purely for green, just for looking around me. But then I just sucked that off and just stuck with the thermal. Because I can get the outline of trees. I can see the outline of tracks. I can see bushes and stuff like that via my thermal. I can clearly walk. I could walk with my thermal and navigate where I need to go.
So the magnification as well, isn't it?
Visually get into somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't think. I'm not saying I can hold a map at the end of my scope and go, oh yeah, look, I need to go there on that bearing. Blah, 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 blah. I can't do that, but I can see what's about me. I wouldn't trip into a ditch or anything like that. I can navigate that with my thermal. A hazard if you like.
Yeah. Rage says, I don't have nods or thermal. Some of the boys I run with have Gucci nods and thermal. Decent torch makes a huge difference. Airsofters that think nods and thermal make you Superman. If you're shit, you'll be shit just with nods and thermal on. So,
absolutely, mate. That's it.
It's
so true. It's so true.
I agree. I am in that bracket of shit.
That's very, very untrue because I've been at events with you where people have gone, oh, he's a right knobhead. He's been taking us out all day with his rifle. Oh well, we'll get him at night, and then you've gone slap your thermal on.
I've just got a good sniper rifle. That's all. Yeah, it's all down to the rifle. Mike, it's easy. You just get HBA, and then you get the Allen key, and you twist it anti-clockwise, and you just keep going until the Allen key the grub screw nearly falls out. Don't bother chronoing it, and it's about 27 joules. So
yeah.
Goes miles.
I'm joking, by the way. If anyone, I'm joking. Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah, you don't do that.
So we've obviously covered. We've obviously covered thermal. Let's have a chat about NVG. So in terms of night vision, we're talking, the first gen, second gen, third gen. I think there's a third gen plus. Is there? I think
Yeah,
it's third gen
and
plus.
Gen 2 plus now as well, wasn't there as well?
Yeah.
Are they like iPhones? You just get a new one every year.
Pretty much. But even then, like the digital options, you've got the Sonic stuff like that now. That's getting better and better. There's a few guys I know.
I
that
looked
run
through
that
one
now.
the other day, and I quite enjoyed it. I mean, granted, there was a fair bit of natural light from the moon, but it, it was cool. It looked good. It worked, and
But then
it's
even when it goes up,
inexpensive,
I mean, even like the Gen 2 stuff. I mean, I remember the only one I've had which hasn't really struggled with like a full cloud cover. If you like, say you was in a canopy with cloud cover, was an old British Army kite sight that I had. Now I'm not sure on what the generation of the tube would be in one of them, but it didn't seem to struggle. It didn't require, it didn't have any IR illuminator or anything on that scope. It was purely just purely absorbing ambient light. Now I'm not sure what makeup that was, but yeah, the kite sight, which I used to own a long time ago, was.
what did you do with it?
I passed it on.
Oh.
when I got my thermal, which I sort of regret now. But there we go.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But yeah, I mean,
Sounds
if
good.
if it's a full cloud cover or no moon full cloud cover, and you're under a canopy. I mean, even Gen 2s and 3s, you're going to need some IR illuminator to make them effective. I mean, obviously, I'm going. This is an extreme example, but for that example, the event that me and Andy were at and Wayne at the bunker with the SEO boys, and it was a sealed underground tunnels system.
Like no
So there was
light
there was zero natural light. There was none. As soon as that blast door was shut, there was no. You could put your hand there and you would not see anything. So obviously, all the guys there running Gen 2 plus Gen 3 nods, all IR'd up. Massive, had to be, because there was zero ambient light at all. And it's almost the same situation when you get that huge thickness of cloud cover. Even fog is a bastard for night vision, and I've tried it. When we did the Falklands event, Mike, and I had my kite sight on my rifle back then, it's just a wall of green with swirls through it. It's so hard to navigate.
What did you not just like go and just keep blowing it out of the way?
You could do that. You could fan it, I suppose. If Mike had his admin folder, then he could have been fanning the fog away from me.
Done it with the admin folder,
So I
exactly.
could have seen.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's an anti-fog device. It's nothing to do with the actual practical purpose.
And he could have put string through it and got people to run further on.
You can also, I mean, you can get with MVG and stuff like that. You can obviously get your IR chem lights and things as well. There's a number of kind of IR illuminators that you can provide. They don't just have to be torches. You know, I think you can get. I mean, you know, you look at some of these CCTV systems and the like that they have set up. That they're often provided with their own IR illuminator for exactly that purpose. There's not always enough natural light, so by having that, but I mean, I'm yet to see proper IR floodlights like the little kind of set down ones. Not to say they don't exist. I've not seen them in use in airsoft per se.
Is that because you haven't got
Seen them
none?
away. Well, yeah, you wouldn't see it anyway, would you?
Yeah, everyone else has seen it.
I don't know what this light does.
Yeah, his light doesn't work. Send it back. This is the 10th return. You've sent this light back. It works. You just don't have anything to see it with.
I mean, okay, let's put it this way. So, talking from someone who say someone who hasn't got thermal, someone who hasn't got night nods or anything like that, and you're going out on a night patrol at an event. You know full well that the Op 4 or the Blue 4 team, depending on what side you're on, do have units with thermal. Or let's start with night vision. What sort of things would be going sort of through your mind in the ways that you could counter that, or how you're going to conduct yourself with, let's say a team with just night vision to start with. Let's keep it at night vision for now. But what would be a couple of things that you'd consciously do when you get out
light
in the field?
discipline's the main
not
one.
just say,
isn't
well,
it?
I'll just stay at the harbour area and not go out.
Just not go out. No, I
I'm
mean,
pretty
light
sure he could do
discipline's-
that at the last event, though. He was like, nah, I'm not going.
Yeah, no, I did at the last event because I couldn't fucking see.
Yeah. We're still yet to find some solid lens glasses that Mike can wear at night time.
Lance, can I just say that was the most serious I've ever heard you when you just said all that? And I think it's because now you're 40.
No, I think I did this last week as well with the interview with Ed. And
What, you went all serious and stuff?
I actually asked genuinely interesting questions.
Oh, no, well, I'm impressed.
So genuinely interesting they were. I sang all the way to work that night in celebration.
No. No, right, Mike, go on, answer his question.
Yeah, so
Now
I mean,
you've made me
obviously
go silly. Thanks.
Nighttime light discipline is very important because the number of events I've been to where you don't need NVG or anything, you can see them coming because they've got the great big spotlights on the front of the rifles running around, you know, big illuminated torches. Or, you know, I mean, we've had this at events as well. Someone accidentally just pushes the trigger on it because they forget where they've placed it. And you just get all of a sudden a big white light and it just happens. So that's an important one because ultimately, again, as we said, night vision, it's a useful tool, but it's not the be all and end all. If you're not necessarily having someone look in the right place, you can still creep up on someone with night vision. Use of natural barriers and the like is also important as well. So again, just treat it like a daytime event. You know, you wouldn't just walk up to the enemy in a daytime event. You'd be using the natural cover and vegetation, not necessarily skylining yourself, making use of bushes and the like. You wouldn't just stand there in the middle of the open, just kind of wandering around as if you've got no idea what's going on.
I think that's where I've been going wrong. I've definitely,
I mean,
I don't remember.
You see that, you know, you get. you get. I mean, we've had this at some of the long war events. Like we've been sort of in the sangers, even with just torches and stuff like that. And you've pan a torch across the outside of the sanger, and you can catch someone like mid walking because they've just not appreciated the fact that you might be able to see them because everyone just assumes it's dark. You don't know where they are.
I've encountered that as well, Mike, at some events where as soon as the sun goes down and there's like maybe a partial moon out, people think, oh, it's dark now. I can just sort of like walk straight across there. It's like, no, treat nighttime as if it was daytime still. Use cover. You must stay in cover even if it's at night, because literally, like you said, then you could be walking. I mean, there's a big open field in front of that sand fob at Legion, wasn't it? And if you're going across there, like bimbling across, and all of a sudden you get a light, and you're like French mime. Do you know what I mean? You can't do that. You've got to box around it.
No, so then you just pick up your window and then.
But that doesn't work for an AG, does it?
You have to have a smoke grenade and window.
That's a small building. Oh, that's just a small building.
Banning smoke towards the fob.
Like, who's that twat running around with a pane of glass?
Oh God, he's back again. But yeah, you've got to box around stuff like that, or if you are, unless you're going on like a full section attack or something like that, then it's game on. Do you know what I mean? But you know, you must stay in cover, use cover. I mean, a big one for me personally is being quiet, because it carries at night time. You've lost an awful lot of those daytime noises and things like that. You know, especially at some certain events. I know even like flight paths and things like that. You know, there's hardly any flights at that time of night.
It's nuts how quiet it goes, doesn't it?
It gets quiet. You know, there's hardly any traffic on the road. This, that, and the other. Everything's quietened down. Everything goes to sleep, apart from us weirdos that go out at night, play airsoft, and a few bugs and the occasional mammal.
And the odd dog walker, you see. I've seen like a dog walker on last event. I was like scanning with a thermal. I was like, someone walking their fucking dog. It was like 11 or something in the middle of the woods. Like,
but yeah, for me, so it's maintaining that discipline of keeping quiet. You know, moving very, very slowly and doing those sound check stops as well. You know, covering 50, 60 meters, you know, taking a knee in cover and then just listening and waiting to see if someone's picked up on you moving about and they're making their way into getting to an attack on you. You'll hear them rustling, banging around, then you'll think, oh Christ, pick something up. Another 50 meters, go to ground, have a listen. See if you can see if you can see someone just quickly flashing a light somewhere. Oh, yeah, look down that way. Right, so then you've got a bearing of where you've got a threat from, rather than just sort of like just consistently moving and staggering and going through trees and that. I mean, going through a woodblock is difficult at night time. If you've got like an 8-man patrol and you've got, especially over at our site, I mean, there's an awful lot of leaf litter. It's been very dry, crunchy. You can't get around it. But what you can use is you can use the game trails.
And we've been putting out a lot of crisp packets lately, haven't we? We just put them
extra
everywhere.
Crisp packets, yeah. We've done an awful lot of that recently.
We just put them anywhere we can.
But you can use game trails, so look out for them. A great thing with game trails is where like heads of deer have gone through there and they have cleared some of the ground a little bit. They've been tread the same trail all over again. But with the game trail, what it does is under nods and under thermal, it will light up. So you'll see it through that forest floor, and you look into a woodblock, you will notice a game trail, and it will be almost a clear line for you, and you can see where them deer have been. The only thing you've got to be mindful of is that the height of the deer is probably going to be in between your sort of chest and your waistband. So you will be ducking. A lot of the other stuff has been taken out. Like you can look in some woodblocks, and every single branch below sort of like 4.5 foot, 4 foot has been completely stripped and cut down, where deer have just sat there chewing on all day long, and you can see right through a whole woodblock. So that's what you've got to be mindful of. But it's another little tip that you can use to your advantage. Is once you'll feel it, even without nods and thermal, you'll know once you get onto that hard ground inside a woodblock, you're on that game trail, and you'll see it with your naked eye. You'll be able to see this slightly illuminated game trail going through a woodblock, which you can use to your advantage because it'll be quieter, the ground will be harder, and it'll take you through a clear path.
And probably less crisp packets.
And there'll be hardly any crisp packets.
Because the
deer are environmentally conscious of litter, and they'll pick them up as they go along.
Absolutely. They'll come out and go, for fuck's sake, who has put these here again?
Who's moved all our crisp packets?
Yeah.
The other facet to obviously dealing with MVG is, you know, ultimately, as soon as you come under contact, you use those super powerful torches that are not as expensive. You know, you can get these big, I can't think, Claris, for example. I mean, it's like 1,000 lumens, something like that. You're going to be throwing a lot of light on them. It's going to, there's a big reason why some NVG users are standing there going, no white light because I want to use my NVG. It messes up with them. You know, it causes a bit of chaos. They're completely pointless at that point. So throw some light on them, use that to your advantage. It helps disorientate as well, because if you've got lights going on and off that are firing at a kind of
it's a flare. It's almost like a light flare going off. Yeah. They'll instantly have to do it, or the MVG will auto gate anyhow, and it'll just completely dull it down, that light, and dissipate it, so it doesn't damage the tubes and stuff like that. But yeah, that will mess with a nod user's day quite badly at night time. But then again, it's having that discipline to do that. So if you do pick up, eventually you'll hear. If you hear a little rustle, then it's sort of like leave it. Do you know what I mean? There's a good chance that's going to be just sort of like a bit of night wildlife. But if you hear that stomp, or you hear that twig break, or you hear a couple of things, or a quick whisper or something, you know, a creak of kit or a buckle or anything like that, then you've got a bearing of where it is. Quick bit of white light. Oh, there you go. Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
You know, acquire your target, and if you can, you know, let them have it. Perfect. Exactly what you want to be doing. But getting your natural night vision adjusted as well before you go out. Not sitting there, you know, just quickly text quarter to midnight, so quickly text some missus, blah blah blah. Got your screen like that. You know what I mean? All right, okay, let's go.
I'm a fag.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've got to give that 10-15 minutes of the minimal light. You know, red aspect, very, very dulled down. I mean, even my red aspect talks quite bright. I even put a bit of desert sniper tape over that, just so it's an actual very, very dull red glow with a little pinprick in the middle of it. Just if I do need to do anything, you know, lastminute.com. But yeah, you must give yourself that 10-15 minutes to let your natural night vision adjust. Always good. Always good.
Andy said, unless told not to, I use a 2K lumen strobe that messes up your MVG. I can imagine that's pretty annoying. You can also get the strobing pyros. We've obviously used those at a few events before. So they're
I've still got a couple of them.
Stroboscope. It's like a Polish pyrotechnics company that basically is it. We had to clear it with the site because I'm not 100% convinced it was. I don't think it's cold burning pyro, is it? It's effectively hot burning, so we had to be careful where we use it.
Yeah.
So if you're able to use them on the site, it's a completely quiet fountain that basically just strobes very bright white light. And that was particularly effective.
They do work.
So yeah. Let's just run through some comments because I'm conscious I want to get on talking about Empire Rising 2. Rage says at night you should have advance. At night you should advance while playing Fortunate Son through a boombox. That's the Gucci thing to do.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more with that.
There you go. Andy says also make sure that what you're walking through, for example, gravel, will be light, so you just silhouette yourself. So yeah, also bear in mind colours of things. I mean, this is where the natural, again, you know, you were saying in terms of treat it like a daytime scenario, because ultimately, if you are just putting yourself out in the open and you can be seen very visibly, you're gonna screw yourself over.
I mean, obviously, using main trails at night time is a benefit because it will be quieter. It's going to be more open space. If you can use a vehicle tracker to get somewhere, it will be quicker. But remember, you're going to be compromising your cover and the ability to get into cover by unless you hug to the right hand side or the left hand side of the verge or something like that. You know, an awful lot of movement at night time would be sort of like a single file, keeping within a few meters of each other. Even as soon as you get into a wood block, you want to be sort of like arm's length away from the guy in front of you, purely for navigation purposes. You know, but
guys, do you know I rigged the phone up with Empire sticky tape from packages? It's falling off.
Oh no! You should have got some string from Mike.
No, I should have got a better retailer's sticky tape.
Yeah, yeah. We know a couple. We could send you some if you want.
Hold on, I'm taping it back up. There you go. I just taped it up. It's a bit skewy.
Hetty says, "Are PVS 14 still valid, or should I just quit airsoft at this point?" Lol. I think PVS 14 are pretty. Yeah.
Can we just say I don't even know. I don't know what they are. Hetty.
I need that email from you, mate.
Hetty is an absolute. Hetty is a complete geek as well. So that, yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. But if anyone saw the Empire 2 Rising video, he made that. He's a very clever young man.
All right, Kenny, don't worry, we're getting there, mate. We're getting to it.
I'm joking.
Did I mention Empire Rising 2? So did I mention
just so you know.
Stephen Whitehead says, heavy breather and serial twig snapper right here. So, yeah.
Nice. What was that?
Ray says you have to be careful doing that though, Lance. Those deer are starting to get antsy with people using their paws and they're getting tooled up.
What you mean, like geese? You told me about. Rage sent me a wicked thing on Instagram a couple of days ago. It was about how geese have come to take people's souls, and it's like, just accept the fact the goose is there to take you, and don't put up a fight. It will retaliate. I'll forward it to you, Mike. Honestly, it's brilliant. It's very good. Completely fucking random, but it's very good.
Ed says, other advice for people with no night vision, don't wear mesh. There may be enough light to see at night, but not with mesh. Also allow your natural NV to develop before you go on patrol. Don't look into light. That's the thing. I mean, mesh is just completely useless at night. I found the Edge Tactical Tiger colour. I think it's like the orangey yellow. That's completely useless at night. You want a proper clear eye pro at night. Obviously, don't start using shades and things as well, because they won't work.
Failing that, obviously, a little tip with mesh, what you can do is you can spray the inside of the mesh either white or a very light grey, a very light tanned colour, and that will sort of dissipate the black mesh that you'd see, almost like the blur bit, like you smudge something on a scope when you look through it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying when you're picking up mesh when you're wearing it, and as that light starts to drop, it's not as noticeable. So if you've got you can obviously keep it all cammed up on the outside or keep it all black, but on the inside of your glasses, what you're seeing, your mesh goggles or whatever, if you just rattle can them very, very lightly with a white, a very light grey, or a very light dusty sand colour, it will help you to see through that sort of dark mesh a lot better than it being black on the inside.
But I mean, at night you're still going to be fucked.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mesh only lets in something like 70% of the light, depending on what.
Unless you get holes bigger hole mesh at night.
Yeah. I thought that was going to be your advice. So
just pop the mesh out. You pop the mesh out.
The mesh, you get a big screwdriver and just keep twisting until
open them holes up. Just right in the middle
until they're roughly 7 millimeters wide.
Yeah, 7 mils. That's the perfect number right there.
Yeah. You can't have it 6 mil and under is a no-go. So, okay.
Yeah. Please, nobody do that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
That's
please.
not a genuine advice.
No.
Yeah. It was a joke.
Stephen Whitehead says, how best to preserve your night vision in an engagement? Keep one eye closed, pirate eye patches.
Absolutely, mate.
100%.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Just keeping one eye shut so
I think
you get that inkling of white light.
Just shut both your eyes.
Well, to be fair, the best thing I've seen is make sure when you've got your torch mounted on your rifle that it's far enough forward that you're not illuminating your rifle, because that's
yeah.
often
that
classic
can be
that you get like your forward iron sights or something like that get illuminated. They're a big bright spot. Turn the torch off, and that's all you can see.
Yeah, even that down the side of a suppressor, you'll struggle as well, because that can illuminate that. It's always good to either have a suppressor doled down or have a cover on it, just to sort of mitigate that brightness from the torch. You can get a rail adapter, which will clamp around the your flash hider of your rifle, which will extend your Picatinny rail, so you can bring your torch so it's literally level with the end of your muzzle, and that then all the light from your light or torch, whatever it is you're using, is completely to your front. It's not like a quarter of the way back down the rifle. You know, you think of an M4 where the Picatinny rail finishes, and then you've got like the front field sight, then your flash hider and stuff like that. Unless you've got an offset or a counterbalanced bracket for your torch to go in, it's never going to reach the end of that. But you can get an extender which will clamp around the outer barrel, and so you can mount a torch or a PEC box really close, almost to the tip, which is they're always quite good.
Right, I'm just going to fast forward through a couple of these comments because I really want to get on and talk to Kenny about the event. So Stephen Whitehead said, floodlights and a generator, problem solved.
Yep.
Rage says, stay in the shadows, light discipline, and get a very good torch with a good throw. Pegasus says, up against nod users, my go-to is a bright torch and light them up as soon as you engage. All good advice. Andy says, strobes are best, just need to make sure you use them and don't want to set someone off in a fit.
Obviously that's a good shout. Very good shout, mate.
Andy also says the little fishing chem sticks are great. They don't put out a lot of light, but if you put them on the back of your kit so the person behind you has something to follow, that's obviously quite helpful.
Oh, that's very helpful.
You can also get the little chem light tubes as well, where you crack a chem light, put that in there, and then you can really reduce the signature. I unfortunately don't have it to hand.
Also, guys, one thing is very handy, so you can see where the other person is. Hold hands. It's very beneficial. You know, 20 guys
That-
going down a track holding hands is.
That's what Fresh Meat was
You're never
talking
gonna
about.
get-
Literally, I did an
You're
event
never
where I was
gonna
just
get
holding onto the back of him for about 2 hours.
Just hold hands. It's simple.
The old everlasting
Oh,
ones
that's
are very
fancy.
good.
I've not seen one of those.
So I use that for marking my Bergen. So it's got a clip on it, a little lanyard on it, so you can. It's literally everlasting.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's
So that was the
nuclear.
wrong way around. So yeah, that's that.
You've turned
There.
it upside down now.
Don't know if you can read any of that.
Beautiful.
But yeah, so basically you can have it as like a full. You can have it as a full window, or you can literally close that down so it's just like a tiny little bit of light. But yeah, something like that. They're very good. But you can get many. You can get a lot smaller, almost on a little keychain type one. And again, you can take that up, so it's just literally like a pinprick. And at night time, more than enough for someone to follow. You haven't got to worry about cracking it, 'cause it'll always be there. I've got some of that on my. I've actually got them on my rigs. I've not got to hand, otherwise I'd show you. But yeah, very good options. If you want to keep buying chem lights all the time, you can get ones that sort of last a lifetime. They're very good. A bit more expensive, but they will save dicking about.
Last 2 comments. Hetty says, Kenny, while I'm a geek, you're taping a phone to the wall to make this live stream possible. I'm good, my love.
Oh, this is true.
Shit.
This is true.
I didn't think about that.
And Harry says, all this chit chat about nods and thermal. Where do you buy them from? Any tips for buying? You can obviously talk to Optics Warehouse. I know that they've got quite a good supply of various things. Kenny?
Scott Country, I believe, are like the best for thermal in this country. They have the biggest range, and you can buy a lot of them on 0% finance. So they're accessible to anyone as long as you don't tell your wife.
Just quickly, that's made by a company called Beta Light. If you can see that there, Beta Light TM. So there we go.
SPI.
Yeah, I mean, all of them are
Manufactured
pretty much
by SRDL
set with their
UK.
prices, thermal and night vision anyway, you know. So really, you want to go to just an established business that isn't. If you've got an issue, they're going to sort it out.
Look,
I just
some events like Defiant, for example, they've got a sales WhatsApp group, and occasionally some nods or thermal kit may come up for sale. If anyone's interested in that, hit the Defiant boys up. I'm sure you can get added to it if you're in the market for some nods or a thermal or something like that. There's usually
Also,
bits and
one
bobs.
place as well, Facebook group called Scope Bay UK. Every optic comes up on that, and I've seen some proper bargains. Like my scope was up there for, it was like 8 months old, been used, the guy says, a few times. You know, he said it's mint condition, and it was up for 2.5 grand. You know, that was a 4.5 grand scope. So there's a lot of good deals that come up on there. And it seems like a pretty good community, because if someone's an arse, everyone rats them out, you know. So you don't get many dickheads trying to rip you off and stuff. Obviously, you've got to be careful. You're handing over a lot of money to some randomer online. But yeah, that is a good place to go. Scope Bay UK is.
Scope Bay UK.
For any
cool.
for any optic, you know, like not just nods or thermal, but everything. But obviously, most of them are they're all just normal rifle shooters. So you get loads of vortex coming up there and stuff like that. You know, usually half the price. So yeah. Don't
Nicely
support
done,
your
sir.
locals. Don't support your local store. Buy second hand and recycle. All right?
Yes.
There we go. Right, Empire Rising 2. Tell us about it, Kenny.
Go, Kenny.
Do you know what? When the guy, I think his name's James, is it from Defiant? When I saw he was in the chat, I went, for fuck's sake, because these guys know what they're doing, you know. And I think he's just going to sit here and go, this knob, he hasn't got a clue. So let's just do a disclaimer. I haven't got a clue. I'm a knob. Okay. No, but so we run the first one. It was all, you know, really lucky. The team are wicked. Great bunch of lads. Obviously, Lance, Mike, all the other boys involved. And they made the event. It was awesome. They're chilled. They're nice guys. They're inclusive. So when all the snipers are coming down, everyone's chatting. Do you know what I mean? We're trying to get people over. There's a bit of food. It's really chilled. It's kind of our place. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no dickheads there. And the event itself, we thought, was pretty good. It's a random event. You would never have played an event like it before. It's sniper, pretty much, you know, sniper on sniper. Obviously, we've got this NPC element there. We made that a little bit easy on the first event, but obviously I wanted to see how it went, and we'll tweak it. So they're going to be a lot tougher this time. You know, you're not going to want to see those NPC guys because they're going to probably fucking destroy you, and you will lose some tags, lose some lives. So they're going to be a lot tougher now. But yeah, there's a few things I'm definitely going to change. But I think it's going to, I think everyone enjoyed it. It was a good event. It was really hot. So I'm glad it will be a little bit cooler, this time.
Yeah, 100%. That's going to help.
And there's a few people coming back, so I'm going to have to mix it up. I'm not just going to chuck it all back out there. But essentially, there's objectives out there which score you points if you get them. It's a paired event. You don't have to be paired. Some guy's adamant he wants to play by himself. And if you shoot an enemy, if they're a sniper, they will have a tag on them. They'll hang it up in a tree, and it's like kill confirmed. If you get that tag, it's a point. At the end of the game, everyone comes back. We count up what tags you've got from completing objectives and getting kills, and then you crowned the winner. Ed and James won last time. Probably cheated. So
absolutely, probably did. Yeah.
No, they didn't. But there's so many different tactics about this game, which I love. Like, you can try the slow and sneaky approach. You can try the run and gun, because you're very limited ammunition. It wasn't that limited in the first game, and I found everyone come back with a lot of BBs. So I'm going to change that again. The BBs will be cut down, because I want is everyone to decide whether it's worth taking that shot. You've got one shot. Is it going to get the kill, or am I wasting ammo? You're not just going to be pinging through rounds at 80 meters trying to lob it in and through branches, So yeah, we're going to mix it up a bit. I was going to completely change it, and then Hedy, the guy there, made the video and released it, and it's an amazing video if you haven't seen it. And I hadn't told him I was considering to change it, and now he's kept the same. I'm not changing
Mike,
it.
can we get the video?
It wouldn't make sense.
I will find it. Yeah. Give me 2 seconds. That's what I was looking for.
But yeah, it's not a lot of players, It's £60 a ticket. It's the last one I made and a beautiful loss on. So we did really well financially on that one. This next one, hopefully we'll break even. But it's just a bit of fun.
Hedy's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I'm trying to learn, But with these guys, they've got a lot of experience in these events. So that's it, really. We just try and have a good time, and try and do something a little bit different. Like, I'm from the sniper world, so I like that route, I'm kind of, for now, leaving the real milsims to the real boys, like Defiant and these guys smash it and do wicked jobs. Maybe in the future we'll go down there and try something, but yeah, I want to get some experience.
Well, it's like you said as well, we've spoken about it. It's nice to give snipers a bit of a platform for them to take part in an event which is sort of like catered for them.
Because usually everyone fucking hates them, don't they?
But it's hard to sometimes at a milsim, if you get a dedicated sniper who's there, like for example Ed or yourself, Kenny, when you're primarily a sniper. It's hard to maintain that sniper role throughout an entire milsim. Whereas this, although it's not a milsim, it's a full day op, if you like, a battle sim type thing, whatever you want to call it, or event. You can't really pigeonhole it as anything. But here's the advert. Let's check this out.
I don't know if you can hear the audio. Can you?
No.
No.
Oh.
Is it muted, Mike, or are you not going to?
No, I can hear the audio. I don't know how to set that up.
Oh, right, okay.
Fucking useless. Mike.
So you can see some of the props there, Kenny, obviously we put in for the first event, which is all good stuff. It's showing there, obviously, bolt action only sniper rifle and a single pistol sidearm. So there's no AEGs or anything like that.
Pretty cool body, that.
So go and watch that with audio. Go and check it. Go and check it out on their Instagram.
Yeah. So
I'll see if I can get. I'll tell you what, I'll see if I can get the audio to work for the end of the show.
For those listening back, we just watched an advert for Empire Rising 2.
Pretty quietly.
I do apologise. That's why I was trying to talk a little bit through it.
You haven't gone deaf,
I'm conscious of people who listen to this show, not just watch it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, forgot about that.
It's most of our audience. Most of our audience are podcast only. So thank you for staying with us. I'll see if I can get the audio for the end of the show.
There are a few tickets left. I will be I was very humbled at the beginning. So I come up with this idea, and it was like designer's blindness, which my friends get who design products. You know, they end up thinking it's amazing and everything's perfect on it, and then they get someone else with a design eye to look at it, and they go, "Well, that's fucking shit, and you've messed all this up." And so I was like, "Oh my god, I've got this idea," and talking to Lance about it, and we all work. We worked together on this idea, and then I thought this is going to be amazing. You know, that we're going to sell 1 billion tickets. Every sniper in the country is going to want to be there. It was like tumbleweed time. You know, tickets went live. Okay. Even my friends weren't buying them, you know. So it was humbling. And this time I've sold a few more. I wanted to up the numbers because it wasn't. I thought that would be the ideal number, but it wasn't. There was a few too little. So we want a few more pairs out there. But I think we're going to get the numbers this time. There's a few tickets left. If you're interested, come and check it out. You come down on the Friday night, camp. Loads of boys will be there. You're going to be very welcomed. Saturday morning we'll wake up and a lot of our people will arrive on a Saturday. We'll game. Also this time I'm going to do a bit of a shooting competition because every sniper thinks they have the best sniper rifle in the world. So I'm going to build like a little range and then with different distances and some targets, and I want to see who can get to the final one. You know,
nice.
So a bit of like a
that won't be NPCs though. It's not going to be us just going.
No,
yeah.
Mike is the final target. We're just naked Mike at the end.
Naked Mike, right?
Shoot his dick.
Mike, Andy said you had that video muted.
No, I didn't. I didn't have the video muted. I muted it halfway through. I know what. I think I've worked out how to fix it. We'll play it at the end.
But yeah,
all in hand.
I was thinking of just doing that. There'll be a few bits there. We have food. Hopefully John's coming and he's the grill sergeant, and he's gonna be cooking up a storm. I'll buy some beers. We have a few beers. It's chilled, you know. But yeah, it's just a good crack.
No, it was cool.
I don't know what else to say. I mean,
the first event was brilliant. You know, like there was no. Like, all the feedback was positive, which is rare for an event. You know, you'll always get someone who say something, and it's just like, me personally, engaged with all the snipers afterwards. Everyone had smiles on their face. They're all sweaty and minging and horrid, but all had smiles on their face. And then
I'm going to change the extraction, because in the last one you had to fire a mortar to extract, so to signal for your extraction, and you got extra points. But then obviously, I knew that people would camp the extract, but you didn't know where the extract was. You had to complete another task to get the coordinates for the extract, which everyone did. But the problem then was you got some people camping it, and at the end of the day, right after when everyone's knackered, it wasn't a good end for some people, you know, like getting absolutely tagged when you're trying to run in for extract. So I'm going to change that, how you exit the game, because I don't want anyone to leave like going, oh, that bit was shit. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really know what to do. I just don't want the normal, like, game over now, guys. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
You know,
get yourself a whistle.
Yeah.
Oh, whistle. Don't buy Mike's whistle though. Don't buy Mike's one.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to see how these go. I might do another one. We'll see. But I might mix it up a bit. I don't know. I might do the same sort of thing, but maybe not just snipers. So I might get loads of guys on a lower ticket price because their job that is not going to be as exciting. It's copying kind of everyone else, really. Just trying to put a bit of a different spin on it. And then maybe having like a real elite unit, but proper units, like designated sniper comes in, you know, rifleman, LMG gun, everything. And then putting them into a big situation. And the other guys, it's more of a weekend bit of fun. Do you know what I mean?
With you.
But the other guys get some solid thing in the woodland. Kind of what Terry did. I don't know. I've been thinking of some ideas. I don't know yet. But I just want to try and do some different things.
Cool.
So Kenny, if you're not a well-established sniper, but you've got a reasonably usable sniper rifle. So for example, you know, there'll be people out there that sort of obviously see the likes of Ed. You know, as much as it's going to inflate his ego, he is a relatively famous airsofter who's well known for sniping. So they'll kind of see the likes of Ed going and maybe think,
stag parties and birthdays.
This event probably isn't for me. So what would you say to those sorts of people?
I'd say don't come because you're shit. Your gun's shit. No, I'm joking. No.
I really set you up then to try and get more people to come.
No.
Because he's on the white wine, that's what it is.
I'm joking. I'm joking. No, honestly, you haven't got to be a professional sniper here. You know, this is like, I think, as I said, there's a billion tactics can work on this. I think you could, you know, you might be able to win with barely even firing the gun. If you go and complete all the taskings, you might and not get shot out and lose tags because you know you might win. There's a million ways of doing it. Yeah. Just come and give it a crack. Who cares? You know, it's a bit of fun, and you're going to get to meet other like-minded guys who, you know, into camouflage and into sniping. I mean, why wouldn't you go? And you can get away from your normal life and be in our woods for the weekend.
Exactly that.
It sounds like a dream.
And a few beers in the evening.
Exactly. I don't think anyone's going to be out of their depth. You know, like there was a real young lad came with his stepdad, who's a friend of mine, and he had the best time, and he's literally been airsofting for like a few months, you know, but really jumped into the sniper role. He was all camoed up and he had a decent gun, but you know, he loved it. He wasn't out of his depth.
They had a blind. It was great to meet them as well. They were great lads as well.
Yeah, they had a great. Do you know what? He come up to me after one of my mate, who's, you know, older guy, been shot out, and I saw him out with one of the perimeters, because once you get shot out, you go to the closest perimeter, and then you wait 5 minutes, then come back into the game. And he was waiting at the perimeter, and I saw him, walked over to him. I said, "Oh, how's it going? Like, you're enjoying it?" He'd just been shot out, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's fucking amazing." Do you know what I mean? So even if you are shit like him, you might still enjoy it. You know, so it'd be fun. No, I'm kidding. It'll be good.
Do you have to so as a question, so do you have to have a sniper rifle? So obviously, I know we're obviously the rules are like you can't use rifles and things, but can you just run with a pistol, for example?
Yeah, if you want. I don't. But you're only going to get that pistol ammo.
Yeah.
Because my plan, you know, ideally, I think before, I can't remember what we ended up doing, but I think we were going to split it and have you a certain amount in your rifle and your pistol. Actually, no. Yeah, no. In the end, we said, you've got this amount of ammo. If you switch it between your pistol and your rifle, up to you. You know. So yeah, you could do it with just a pistol. I mean, MK23s now, like fully upgraded, you know, they're snipers in themselves. So yeah, you could easily run it with that, and you're going to be so mobile. You'll be a lot faster. You'll be able to find objectives faster. If you get engaged, you can run away quicker without getting snagged. And do you know what I mean? That's a tactic in itself. But you can only use. There's no. You can't use a pistol that can shoot fully auto. And
there's no extended magazines and stuff like that on it, was it? It's just
and you can only
magazine.
use a bolt action.
But then only allowing a pistol, Ken, does that take away from sort of like the sniper element of having a sniper bolt action sniper rifle?
I don't know.
Just playing devil's advocate.
No, because I don't know. I think a sniper will spend an awful lot of time. A good sniper as well, a camouflage sniper, will spend a lot of time using their sidearm, because most of their engagement will be within MED, because they've got good camouflage and they've set up traps, or they're on a path that they know someone's going to walk across, and they're going to have to engage with their pistol anyway. So I don't know. But personally, I would like to have a rifle, because I want to scope them. I know my rifle's far more accurate than my MK23 is, especially at like 70 meters or something, you know. So personally, I would want to have a rifle, but it's up to, you know, I can't force someone to go have a rifle. You take this best rifle, you know.
You will fucking use this. Okay.
You get prop rifles that are just a bit of wood that they've got to carry around with them if they just bring a pistol.
Yeah, it's just a length of 4x2. It just says rifle on it. Like, Empire Events will supply you with rifles.
Rifle Mark 1.
Yeah, our budget is so low we couldn't give you a real gun.
Exactly.
But you can. It wouldn't be an expensive. It wouldn't be an expensive piece of wood. It would be just a sack of shit. 4x2.
Yeah, I was going to say, the more kills you got throughout the day, that you got a better stick. Like your stick was upgraded.
Yeah.
I'm on hickory now.
Oh baby, yeah, and it's varnished. Wonderful.
Andy asks, can people use the airsoft bow?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
No, it's not a bolt action.
Yeah, and I like it, but you know what? That's another game. Why don't we just do this with just airsoft bows? That would be a good crack. But no airsoft bow.
No, fair enough.
I'm afraid. Yeah, I don't know if you have any. I don't know if there's. I don't know if I missed anything. If there's any other questions.
No, I've been scouting through them. I can't see any more. Ed says, Kenny, you should talk about ninja shoes and tabby boots.
Right.
I think it was harking back to the nighttime stuff.
Yeah, I'll talk about this. Ninja shoes and tabby boots. If you get them, you're a loser. Okay. You will look like Ed or Kicking Mustang. If that's who you want to be, if that's who you want to aspire to, get some. Okay. I'm joking. I don't know what he wants me to say about them. I think they're a little bit creepy.
Literally like Ninja Turtle feet, aren't they?
Yeah, they're creepy. I don't trust people when they're wearing them. I don't know.
It's
what
like
you want me to say.
Patrick's quite keen on the. It's not the is it the Vibrams, like the fingered shoes?
Yeah,
the
the Vibram,
each toe's got its
yeah.
own individual little micro shoe on it.
No.
I
No,
find
I
them
will
quite.
say-
My wife's got a pair of socks that each toe goes into it in, and I'm like,
Creepy.
no, shouldn't be seeing them like that. That's very, very bizarre.
No, I will quickly talk about them in this cyber sense because I think it makes a big deal if you're going to be moving around quick, and it really does, especially over a long game, long day. I think you have less impact in the ground. You're going to make less noise. You've got better feeling as well when you're moving slowly, so you can actually use your vision and use your peripherals, and not having to keep looking down because you're actually using your feet to feel your path. Yes, they have a place in sniping for sure. Doesn't they're still creepy. I mean, I'd prefer it.
Still creepy as fuck.
I prefer it if everyone wore Crocs personally, but yeah, yeah. That's it.
Eddie says, I mean, I could go barefoot and still be heard from 200 meters. So.
Yeah, I would be when I tread on
That's
something,
because-
just fucking scream.
Yeah, Eddie is like 6'3". He's quite a big guy. So yeah,
Sorry, Stephen said because of all the swearing. In
Oh, there you
terms of, walking, yeah.
yeah.
If anyone's got any last minute questions for Kenny about Empire Rising 2, please feel free to throw them in the chat. Chuck a little cue at the beginning. I believe I've now got the audio sorted for this. So if we give that a go in terms of playing the video again, I'll just try and cue this up.
Yes.
Bear with me. Hopefully this works. Can you hear that now?
Yeah.
Good.
Welcome to Empire Rising 2, the second sniper-only event carried out by Empire Airsoft. Location, private woodland in Norman's Land. Your task is simple. Just like last time, you're facing 7 other sniper pairs. Collect points by killing enemies and completing tasks throughout the field. Each player carries a dog tag, so after elimination, collect them to gain points. Unlucky for us, your arsenal is limited to bolt-action sniper rifle with sidearm only, and your ammo is highly restricted. Military unit. Established military unit will be in the area at all times, carrying out patrols and maintaining a threat level. They have been informed of potential hostiles in the area with no other friendly forces. Kill or capture order will be issued upon discovery. Be careful.
Can I just say? I'm really proud. of that. And I didn't do it. Your arm echoing now, Mike, for some reason.
Oh, sorry, bud. Hang on. It's because it's playing the... there you go. That should be better.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that. I know I didn't make it. I can just about spell sandwich. And Eddie made that. I'm really proud of him for doing it. And I think it's a very good video. And I think it looks good.
I just love his voice.
Yeah. And
I
that
love
is
his
Eddie's
voice.
voice, by the way.
I'd like him to record a few messages for just reassuring
I really
things he
want
could
him
say
to
to
do-
me.
Stuff.
I really want him to do a little thing for us for our podcast. I think that'd be awesome.
I'd just like him to say, like, in that voice he's used for the advert, just say, "Oh, Lance, you're so wonderful." And just like every now and again, I can just play it. Thanks, Eddie. Brilliant.
So yeah, we can make a shit hot video.
To
So
go
the
along with a
event
shit
shit.
event. No, it won't be.
Yeah, no, it'd be
Won't
great. You know, it would be good. Yeah, thank you, Eddie, for making that.
Top man, Eddie.
I've been having a go at Eddie. Can I just have a bit of background here? So Eddie does all of the creative side for Empire, and now obviously Empire events. He works full time for us and with us. You know, I give him zero information, as you can see, constantly, and he does the best he can with it. And he always makes amazing content. But I've said to him lately, I'm like, Eddie, you work putting all this time into these videos. I need content on Instagram. You know, I need sales posts going out. I need people to know that I've just stopped this gun or this ammo. And he's like, okay, but I'm really doing these videos. And then he released that video, and I was like, I felt so guilty because I thought that video is fucking amazing. I'm so glad. I'm so glad he put all that time into it. So yeah, apologies to Heady.
So
No, fair play
Stephen
to you.
Whitehead says that established military unit. Will there be emu patches? Seriously, man, make the emu patch a thing.
Absolutely. We have to come up with an Empire military unit patch now.
Yeah. Jose's Mark III says, have you ever wondered what it would be like living as an aardvark? So,
I've never wondered about it.
No.
I might have a little wonder about it tonight though, when I'm driving to work. I'll come back to you. Leave it with
we're all
me.
wondering about that now.
To live as an aardvark. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the comment.
It just shows your level of viewers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's not a
is where
stupid question.
We'll come back to you on that one.
No,
I reckon that's
it's
an
not.
opener for the news next week. I reckon we should make a note of that. And
How would you feel?
what would we do? What was the question? Have you ever wondered about it being like living as an aardvark? I'd say let's pick the top 3 good and bad things about living as an aardvark for next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah?
Pros and cons.
Make a note.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. Write that down. Write that down, Mike. And on that bombshell,
Mike, this is what your life has come to. This is what your life has come.
I know.
his missus,
Right,
he'll be
your
sitting
life.
over there on a Sunday afternoon with his notebook out, pondering, and she'll be like, "Oh, what are you doing, Mike?
How are you doing?
Just thinking about what it'd be like to live like an aardvark."
I'm just having to research what aardvarks eat.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? I didn't want to say anything, but I'm not entirely sure what one is. So I was going to get off.
No, I'm going to have to Google that one as well. I'm pretty certain they're like an
It's
armadillo.
like an
but I might be wrong.
armadillo anteater thing type, armored plated
Oh, I thought
thing,
it
isn't
It's
it?
got a long nose. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thought we had
it was like the old
Anyway.
Dime Bar advert. Armadillos, all that shit. Crunchy on the
If you wanna
outside,
get-
soft on the inside.
If you want to get in touch with Empire,
right,
you can do
sorry,
so on their
Dime Bars.
Instagram at empire.events.uk. Obviously, hit Kenny up.
Check it out.
You can also jump on their website, Empire Airsoft, if you'd like to book a ticket. And if you've got any questions, I'm sure Kenny would be more than happy to pick those up on his socials
drop me a
and
message
through
or
the shop.
anything.
So,
And
feel free to do
I'm
that.
always there to talk. So
If you want to get in touch with us, you can also do so on our email at nofochat@hotmail.com. Our Instagram is at November_Foxtrot_NoFo, and the website is novemberfoxtrot.co.uk. I apologise with the website. I've been a little bit out of touch with it this last week. I've just had a few other things on, so I know that there's been some messages come in terms of a few bits and pieces, so I will be getting back to you after the show tonight.
sorry.
If you want to get in touch with Kenny and you can't for some reason find him on all of his socials, you can get in touch with us and we'll put you in touch with him. Hedy says tickets, heart.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
I
get
don't know what he
tickets.
means by that.
You must get tickets.
There's a few tickets left. So yeah, go on the website, find them. 60 quid,
There you go.
bargain.
Happy days. And you get a bit of barbecue food included in that, so it can't be bad.
Yeah, and beer.
And beer.
There we go.
Beer and barbecue and shooty bang bangs. So
And you
happy
get
days.
to meet Lance and Mike.
Oh, Hedy's
Hello.
posted a link above. I'm sorry, bud. I can't see the link on here.
Oh.
Basically, jump on the Empire Airsoft
Hedy,
website.
you're
You can
bloody
find it on
useless.
I think it was actually.
Can't even post a
Mike.
fucking link.
there. It might be me, to be fair, but
Yeah.
Stephen Whitehead says aardvarks might have good night vision capability, but you'd have to eat bugs. Rage said aardvarks like dime bars. Andy said that's armadillos. Stephen says don't aardvarks have floppy ears? So yeah.
Well, anyhow, this
Oh,
stop. This is
Sorry, and
next week's news.
Stephen says I don't think the chat allows links.
there we
So
go.
apologies. I think that's the problem. So
God damn it,
Cool.
fuck you all.
right, next
you.
week
Thanks for having me on, guys. It's been great.
A pleasure, mate.
coming
No,
on.
always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
And thanks for
Mike, I
whoever
think we'll
joined in.
think we'll get Hedy on next time, Mike.
Yeah, that's fine. Next week, we're going to have Defiant Events on. We're going to be talking about the subject of bridging the gap
Fuck, you
between.
can't say that while I'm here. No, I'm kidding. I love Defiant and what they're doing, and they're the pros. Okay, they're the pros.
Them is the pros. Pro
We're
expert.
going to have
Go-
Defiant
go-
Events
Go
on.
to the
Fucking
go to
hell.
the Defiant event. Go to the Defiant
Told you he's had wine. What do you want me to do?
Go to the Defiant event, and if you get kicked off, you can then come to an Empire one. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, we've got defined events on the show. We're going to be talking about bridging the gap between Milsim and skirmishing. They've got their new event coming up called Raid, which is based on, I believe, Escape from Tarkov. It's a slightly different style of event than I believe that they've done before, so they're sort of quite keen to have a chat about that. But it's an interesting one because obviously skirmishing and Milsim often kind of get sometimes mistaken. You kind of find skirmishers move over to Milsim thinking that it's something they want to have a go at, maybe not being fully aware of the kind of more role play. So that's what we're going to be discussing. We're going to be talking about sort of is there a sort of a middle ground for progressing from skirmishing to Milsim. So it should be an interesting subject. So join us next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. In the meantime, Kenny, would you like to have the honour of the words of the week or the closing words? Whatever.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. No, I don't know. Just I don't know. Just have a nice time out there, guys. That's all I can say.
That's good to me. Let's do
be
that.
happy.
I don't get it.
Be happy.
Marvellous.
In the meantime,
Don't know what more I
big
can
shout out to
add.
Andy. Get better soon, bud, and we will see you all next week. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye.
Ciao, Bella.